So Love, Wedding, Repeat is directed by Dean Craig. He's did Death at a Funeral, which I thought was pretty good. While trying to ensure that his sister's wedding day goes smoothly, Jack finds himself juggling an angry ex-girlfriend, an uninvited guest with a secret misplaced sleep sedative, and the one that got away.
Yeah, I had a frog in my throat.
If you've seen any of Dean Craig's films, then you'll know the sort of comedy, the tongue-in-cheek, the very tight humor that you're likely to get in this film. And I have to say, for the most part, this whole film worked.
Mostly.
I was expecting this to be cheesy and cringy, and it is cringy, and there are a lot of moments when you kind of want to hide behind your hands because there are things happening in this film, the chaos that ensues in the wedding, that you're just like, oh no, is that character gonna go so far? Is that character gonna do that? And I have to say, they do that for the most part, and there is a lot of cringe stuff that you just really want to, you know, like make not happen on screen, but it does happen. But there's a lot of scripting that is so tight and so well executed from the actors that you can't help but be invested in the characters, even though what they're doing is absolutely mental and crazy. Yeah. All the characters bring to this wedding their baggage. So, you know, one is wanting a relationship to go further than it is. One is this lonely character. One is helplessly in love with another. And you have all this baggage that is thrown together in this location of a very expensive Italian wedding. And then you see as chaos ensues.
What are you staring at?
And I have to say, it's directed expertly, because you follow all the stories, although there's always one main thread, and it's about this brother who's trying to protect his sister's wedding from falling apart. At the same time, the love that he wants to bloom into fruition happens to be at the wedding, so you're rooting for him right from the beginning. You're rooting for him. There's the classic cock-blocking syndrome in this film that, you know, fate always gets in the way, and there's this kind of narration that is quite funny at times in the film, where it plays on the what if fate never wanted love to bloom, or what if fate always intervenes and messes you up? What do you do to push the boundaries of love? What would you fight for? How far would you be willing to go to fight for love? And I think this film, that's the message, and it has a nice fruition ending, and it didn't leave me unsatisfied. There was a moment when the film did something that I wasn't expecting, and I was hoping that it weren't going to do it again. It's a mechanic that I've not seen used too much in this type of film. I would suggest not reading the synopsis because it kind of gives it away. I was really hoping they weren't going to do it a third time, and they didn't, and so that works. It's a one-time use mechanic. If you use it again, then it kind of takes away from the punch of what they're trying to go for in the story. But because they only used it once, they kind of go, okay, here's what happened, now look at this, and I thought it really worked well. There are quite a few protagonists in this story. Obviously, there's one main one.
He is the one.
I think there are a few standouts though. Aisling Bea and Joel Fry. Their timing for things that go wrong when one person is too drunk, or they've taken a drug, or they're helplessly saying something about somebody, or the way they've been given a segment of dialogue, then to deliver it in a way that makes you cringe but laugh at the same time.
God, have you gone out with two Chazzes in a row?
I laughed a lot in this film, and I wasn't expecting to laugh as much as I did. I would also suggest watching the end credits, because there's this bit where they show you stuff that also happened or that could have happened, and that was really fun to watch. It really leaves you feeling happy and satisfied in this sort of film. It did remind me a bit of Four Weddings and Funeral.
Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
It follows the trope of a romantic storyline that you get in these type of films, but it's the dialogue that was so tight, along with the score. The soundtrack often comes in and you know some stuff is about to hit the fan. I really appreciated the classical music in this one, because it felt like it was a character of its own. It was driving certain scenes. It was almost a juxtaposition. You have this lightened classical music, but you know it means that something's about to happen or is happening, and I thought it was very well edited in that. I have to kind of give a hand to the editor as well, because I thought it was very tight.
Tight like a tiger.
At no point did I get bored. I didn't feel like it dragged in the middle. There was one moment where I thought, oh, what are they doing with the storyline here? yeah, this is quite different. I wasn't expecting that. That they thought they were taken away from the punch of what actually happened. You wanted to follow the storyline a bit more, and then they do something else. But actually, in hindsight, after seeing the whole film, I was like, oh, okay, I see what they did there, and I like that. I think all the actors brought their A game. There was few more shine than others, but I think the scripting is so tight that you will laugh and cringe. Definitely one to watch, I think. I'm going to give this an A.
Don't kid me.
It's a solid film for me. I'm going to check some of the director's other films out. I haven't seen a whole heap of his. Seen Death and the Funeral. I thought that was pretty good. I think this is one of his best works, but I can't really speak to that because I need to check out his other works. Let me know in the comments below whether this was on your kind of segments of Netflix's to watch. This came out today, so maybe you were like, this doesn't look that good or not up my street. I would give it a go. It's pretty funny. I thought that it was pretty good. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, if you've seen it, and I'll chat to you there. But thanks so much for watching this review, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.